into strategic operations after an acquisition of an apartment, like you closed this week? What kind of time do you put in place? How does your team move in for strategic operations of taking that apartment through your business plan?
Great question. It's a lot of work. And this is where I feel like I wear many different hats. So one of the first things is before we even acquire, we're already talking to our partners on what our plan is going to look like, what's the business plan, and just trying to get a handle and getting that so that we can hit the ground running. Usually, the first couple of weeks, it's always the transition with the on-site staff getting to really know the property, but also that's where you probably uncover a lot of the cobwebs, right? Things that you just don't know until you take over. So you have to be okay with surprises, and then you have to learn, okay, what do I need to do so we can put that behind and move forward? So, we do a lot of value add. So we know exactly what we want to do going forward when we acquire. I would say, don't reinvent the wheel. Like I said, we do value add. So we'll use a lot of the same stuff we've picked out from a prior project, and just say, yep, we want to use these lights. We want to use these colors. It saves time. You already have an expectation of what the costs are going to look like. And then the team is very aware of it because they've already done it at another property. So that always helps. A lot of project management is definitely needed. And so I do weekly calls with all of the property managers. And, it's important to also take notes. We have a million things going on, and we always reference back to say, hey, what did we talk about 3 weeks ago? What was our recommendation? And then has it happened? If not, why? Right. So it holds us, it keeps us accountable. But yeah, really just making sure that, hey, these are the milestones, and it's almost like just the aspect of project management and keeping everybody accountable for, hey, we need to hit this by this date. We need to hit this by this date. Now, when I say we also wear many hats, some people always ask me, what's a day in the life of being an asset manager? And I say, you know what? It completely varies. You just never know what's going to happen, right? Like the hurricanes, we have a lot of properties in Florida. They just come through. Well, then that totally changes. And then if you're, have this big leasing time, you may not get that because everything is shut down and people are not coming, and you have to prepare for that. And so then how are you going to make up for it? And so it's I would say it's always interesting, but you just always have to be very organized, and willing to move and to change, right? And I think one of the biggest things is, as you're operating, you always need to look at your revenue and your expenses. Is your GPR moving in the direction that you want it to move to? If you acquired a property with really high delinquency, what is your plan to bring that down, and then make sure that that plan is, held to? On the expense side, always revisit, always say, hey, can we get a better price? Have we looked at other vendors? And we've been doing that, especially right now with expenses being, expenses rising. It's like, where can we cut? Where can we do all of this stuff? And you have to really look at it on a monthly basis, if anything, because if you don't, it will start to slip away.